are now absolutely live. So, hi everybody. I am Blake Cabot. I am the owner of FacePaintcom, and I'm here with Mandy Gibson, who's just lost the screen that we need. This is going to be one of those technical days. I just feel it. Anyway, so Mandy is the queen of scary, as she does, and she's going to show us lots of Halloween stuff. And she's got a couple models, and it's going to be some airbrushing and all sorts of good tips and tricks. And we lost the screen again.
We did. I'm going to put it on Do Not Disturb because everybody doesn't seem to know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's that. Anyway, while Mandy's getting the screen set up,
silent mode is
we
right
are have a see. So this is the end of our Halloween series. We're doing Halloween 101. And we zoomed it in yet? Oh,
yeah, we're zooming in. I think we're good. We put it on silent.
Okay. Sort of.
Sort of. I'll have to call Malcolm. All right. I think we might be good now, Blake.
Okay. It doesn't look like it.
You know, that's how it goes in the business. Everybody knows you're going to be on a live and they want to call.
That's exactly it. Okay, so with that, Mandy, take it away.
All right. Hey, guys, I'm Mandy Gibson. I'm going to show you all some cool Halloween stuff. I'm going to show you how you can use airbrushing, face painting, makeup, all that, make it into one. This is great for like Halloween clients if you work haunts. Fortunately, my haunt closed for the season, but that's okay. So we're going to dive right in, and we're going to start with a skull. We're going to do a real cool half skull, and I'm going to show you how you can use airbrush, a little bit of face painting. All right.
A little airbrush, a little bit of face painting.
Yep. So we're going to start with, it's called Flesh by Pro Air. It's great color.
Uh-huh. And so I know I'm going to get these questions. What kind of machine do you use? Use a Pro Air machine? What kind of?
Yep, I'm using Pro Air's lunchbox machine.
Okay.
It's like their little handheld compressor. It's nice because it's easy to take to events because it's nice and small. But I do have the Iwata Pro too that I will take for like bigger, longer festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start off with flesh tone. I'm just going to start airbrushing. And everybody is always going to jump when it comes to airbrushing.
Okay.
So we're just giving her a nice light base, kind of paling her out a little.
And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask them. I'm watching on put anything in the chat window, either Facebook or in on Zoom. How busy are you guys during Halloween? I'm asking the audience.
We are very busy. Usually we also have a haunted house, me and Alejo, which is my makeup partner. And we usually are doing that kind of stuff, plus Halloween clients, plus festivals and all that. But due to Corona, it has freed our time up. So we're focusing mainly on Halloween clients. Mm-hmm. We'll probably get started about 6 in the morning, and we'll probably end around 7 in the evening.
Okay.
We're just pushing her out a little bit.
The thing is, I can't stop twitching.
And it's always good, like when you're going in with the airbrush, if you want to go into the eye, have it already started with air coming out. It's a lot easier for the clients. They don't jump as much because they feel that air coming already, as if it were to where you just spray it and they're not ready. So Blake, how busy are you guys for Halloween?
I can't say we're that busy. I think it's been a weird and wonderful world with COVID and not ideal.
Yeah. Good old Corona. All right. So then now that we've paled her out a little. We're gonna go in with white.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with white, and this applies to a lot of different makeups, but you want to do the white where you want it to protrude and stand out. So if you touch your face, you'll feel the areas that poke out more. And you also feel where you're going to put your shadowing and dark, where there's like holes in the face. So her eye would be a hole, right here's a hole, here's a hole. And you can feel your own face to get the concept of that. So we're just going to go with white now. So I want the forehead to really protrude. Get that cheekbone real good. Right up here for the eye pocket. Chin and jawline. I like to make my jawline strong on my skulls. This is Leah's first time getting airbrushed.
Yeah.
A question came in from Lucy. She says she owns the Lunchbox compressor from Pro Air as well. She was wondering if it's enough to run an airbrush tattoo stand. And also, would you like to know whether she prefers top feed or bottom feed?
So it will get you, mine has gotten me through the day. Like if I'm doing a 1-day festival, I'll take it. But multiple days, I'll take my Iwata Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes the big festivals, I will have, I don't know what. Oh,
It was slipping.
Can you hear me, Blake?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Post out your video.
No, that's fine because that I only want the zoomed in camera. Or if you don't, knock it over.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I still always can hear you.
Oh, I was like, what happened?
Just keep the camera still, please. I'm begging for the seasick members that might be watching this.
This way.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, so I would take it to like day festivals, but not so much multiple day festivals. And then
Okay.
what was the second part of her question?
Do you like top feeds or bottom feeds?
I prefer top feeds. But if I have to switch my colors in and out, I'll do top feed. Bottom feed, I use if I'm doing like a tattoo event, because when I do tattoo events, I only offer the color in tattoo black. So I'll use a bottom feed so I can have more ink at a time in it. If that makes sense.
Okay. And what do you think about just having a COVID stand? Do you think, a tattoo stand versus a face painting stand or a Halloween stand?
During COVID?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we actually, one of our orchards has actually opened up, and we were offering airbrush tattoos and glitter tattoos, but they came in the next week and said, well, we want to offer face painting and have it be COVID safe. So there's a whole lot of steps we took to make it COVID safe. Mm-hmm. But people wanted the face paint over the tattoos.
Okay.
So it was pretty, I was kind of surprised because I thought people would be very standoffish with face painting right now because of COVID. But I think it, it depends on who's getting it and their feelings towards COVID. But you have to do all the necessary precautions to take so you are COVID safe and you're protecting yourself and your customers.
Okay.
All right, so now we're just gonna go in with some brown, and we're gonna lay down where I'm gonna put the shading.
Mm-hmm. And what are we doing, by the way?
We are doing a half skull. It's a very popular design. Mm-hmm. People love the skull during Halloween. And we charge a nice little penny for it. And you can do full-on skull, but we're just gonna do this one. Temple area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna try not to twist.
And we're gonna do a little bit on this cheekbone.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna give it that 3D look when we go in with all the details. And everybody forgets about that little hole right there. We're gonna make sure we got that hole.
And how do you feel about Iwata versus Pro Air
A little
guns?
underneath.
Hey, Mandy?
All right.
Mandy, can you hear me?
Yes.
So how do you feel about Pro Air guns versus Iwata guns?
I absolutely love my Pro Air gun. I love Iwata too, but I am obsessed with the Pro, and especially if you're beginning out with airbrushing, the Pro Air gun is great because it has this trigger back here that allows you to tighten, so you have more control on how much air and ink's coming out.
Right.
So it's a great gun for beginners. And it's just nice. It's a good gun, and I actually quite enjoy. But I also love the Iwata clips. The Iwata clips are really good too.
Okay.
And because I have a haunt background, you kind of learn to work with one gun instead of, you'll see a lot of times people will have a crazy setup.
Well, it's easy to have different paints going through different guns sometimes.
Now we're just going to go in with some black. We're going to kind of. We're just going to kind of add this black everywhere we put the brown. Take it up into her hairline a little there. Turning this way, baby. Show up the screen. We'll just do a little couple things here. Kind of blacken out her chin and neck area. All right, so that's our base of our skull. Then we will start going in with our line work. Anybody got any questions so far?
So far, not much. Okay, wait a minute. What do you suggest for COVID safe steps for face painting?
What like for face painting?
Yeah, well, you were talking about how you went through all this protocol for COVID with your airbrushing. So what protocol did you go through?
Yep. So with the face painting, everybody makes sure they have like TAB Body Art Shop carries it, Silly Farm, like I think most of them have it. Some kind of like brush bath for your water, so you can sanitize your brushes as you're painting. But then I would also have a cup of alcohol, 99% alcohol, to dip my brushes in also, so they're completely sanitized.
Yeah, we have a blog. We did this very similar to what you're talking about. We have versions of this. Something from Tiffany Beckler. She did that. We on FacePaintcom's blog, and we obviously have brush baths on FacePaint.com as well.
Okay.
Okay, great. Here's another
Yeah,
question.
and then we're just making sure we're washing our hands every hour on the hour. We also, our face masked up and, that kind of good stuff. And we also make sure we're looking out for any kind of signs of somebody with cold symptoms.
Right.
So that we're not having to worry about, somebody sick in our chair. Because sometimes parents will do whatever to get their kids face painted. I think we've all learned that the hard way.
Yeah. And so your machine runs on electricity, right?
A lot more badder than the children we paint.
I see.
Right,
and does the machine run electricity?
Yes, this one does. But you can also have like CO2 tanks and stuff too. But for the most part, I will get electric from a festival.
Mhm.
But if the festival isn't, sometimes they'll want you to pay extra for electric. You can always get a CO2 tank. So now we're just going in. We're going to start adding all our details with paintbrush, face paint. On Halloween clients, I would use my solids, my Pro Air solids, because then they are more, they're not water based, so they're going to last a lot longer. I'm just going in, doing the jaw now.
Okay.
And these skulls are really good at festivals too. People love these skulls. And I only offer the half skull face, especially at festivals.
Yeah.
Because I can get a good amount for them. And people will pay it. No, they don't mind because they're just great. And when they're half skulls, you don't have to worry about the symmetry as much.
Mm-hmm.
So these are great to do for festivals. My model just told me my paint smells nice, and that is actually the brush bath that I have in my water.
What paint are you using?
This is Fab.
Okay.
So we're just doing a half nose here.
So Mandy, where do you live again?
I am based out of the Baltimore, Maryland area.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. And, we luckily we have one of our states doing pretty good with COVID. So a lot of counties are going into phase 3 of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're lucky with that. Then we're gonna do the little skull one. Come up and do her temple.
Oh, shoot.
Zoom that in a little, please.
Here.
Sorry, Blake, we're trying to get it to where it's nice and steady for you.
Yeah, that's been the hardest part of this. Ooh, I'm seeing shoes.
Yeah, we're trying to get it steady. I apologize to everybody watching. My ring light actually broke as soon as we went to start this live.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to get it set up. Zoom into it, please. Fortunately, I'm at my store, so I don't have like all my stuff with me.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing really her face, so
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in a little.
I think it's off now. There we go. Yeah, it's off again.
Yeah, Blake, I think I'm gonna fix this problem, and I'm just gonna put the laptop on.
Oh, wait a minute, hold it. You can't.
So we don't have any more issues and interruptions.
Uh-huh. Okay, let me turn on that ask to start video, and I will turn the other video off. Okay, there we go. I see your laptop.
Yep, and I'm gonna flip it around. I'm trying to figure out how to flip it. Usually don't have these problems for my lives.
Somehow I'm seeing a ring light.
Let me just get us hooked up, and then we'll have no more problems.
I know. Spencer's getting dizzy.
Yeah. All right. Here
I want to look at the comments.
we go. Like, how do I flip it? Do you know?
Turn it around.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it around. That's the beauty of live, right?
There's a question. There's a question in the chat. I don't know if you answered this one.
Okay, now we have to get it a lot closer because they're not going to see anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it closer. I'm gonna get as close and steady. Be nice and steady now.
I can move that for you.
Brighten this light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just trying to figure this out. Can you scoot your chair up, baby?
Sure.
We're gonna get her close. Good thing I have assistants today.
Yeah, there's that.
Oh, crap, my headphones.
How's that, Blake? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, now we're nice and steady, and we ain't got to worry about that. Jada?
I'd rather.
All right, so, all right, no more interruptions. So here you can see we have done her line work. Going in with the line work.
Mm-hmm.
And give me that cup right there, baby.
This cup?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna finish this look out. Here, you just hold this for me. So everybody always gets real concerned with teeth. I mean, there's not much to it. You just want to do it real quick.
Uh-huh.
And then we're just gonna do some flicks of the brush. And another thing during COVID, we always have rubber gloves too. But because we are on Zoom and I've been around these children, we don't have to use our gloves today.
Well, that's something. Lucy asks if you have if do you know if solids can be used on teeth like a black tooth?
No, I don't believe the solids can be used on the teeth. There's a lot of different tooth paint out there. I actually carry a line of, I have blood dyes, which it's almost like a dyed mouthwash that you can swoosh in your mouth, and those work, but they don't last as long as like a tooth paint. Fleet Street has a really good line of tooth paint. There's 10 I've seen to last the longest, and they have some cool colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend Fleet Street, their tooth paint. All right, so now we're gonna go in.
I think Ben Nye's got some of that tooth color stuff too.
Yeah, I think Ben Nye, Maron, a lot of companies carry it now.
Yeah.
So now we're just going in, and to make all of our holes and areas pop, we're gonna add that white highlight. Just adding it wherever we feel.
Mm-hmm.
It just really makes it pop. That way. And we're just gonna add it right here to the eye socket.
Also, she asks if you on a just normal face paint, cake paint, how do you get a smooth consistency or creamy consistency?
So a lot of times what I'll do is before an event, I'll wet each one of my cakes and I'll mix, and that kind of really activates the paint. So then when I'll use my spray bottle, I'll spray it to reactivate it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you just really want to get a good load. And it really is kind of like a hands-on type thing where you kind of have to play around, because you have to get used to how much is too much water, how much is too less of water. So you really, like, a good exercise is just practicing like teardrops on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of get that nice feel of
Makes
how
sense.
you want your cakes to go.
And what white paint you were using fab white? So what you were saying?
This is Fusion.
Fusion white. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot of different paints in my kit. So we're just gonna add right here to the nose area. We're gonna kind of add to this line, this wrinkle going up her head. And then we're just gonna color in the teeth. You ain't gotta worry about coloring them in completely. And we'll just go right around here. You always kind of want to work with your client's eyebrows because some clients are going to have more eyebrow hair than others. So as you can see, I kind of put my line work in where her eyebrow is because she has thicker eyebrows. And I can go right in with the black and cover up more.
That makes sense.
So you can kind of see.
It looks like my eyebrows in there.
It looks like, yep, that's the point. We want your eyebrow to not look like that. Now, one thing with the half skull is you can offer it in many different forms. Like there's one way I do it where I'll put blood all on this side. So it looks like, you know, her skin's ripped open, and or you can do like a whole glamour look on the other side, or you can even do like a ripped skin look. Or you can actually do some stitches. So we'll just add some stitches. And then.
And like, how long would that design normally take you if you were not having to be interrupted by me asking stupid questions and stuff?
Or my camera going crazy.
Or your camera going crazy.
When I'm at a festival, this look will take me 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how much the kid wants to sit still. Halloween clients, I'd give it a little more oomph sometimes. So it'll, you know, I could take 10 minutes if I wanted to, depending on, especially if they want like the other side done, or if they want it more gory, or if I'm adding like FX to it. So this is just a normal skull. You can see how it has that nice like 3D look to it. And if you also wanted to, you can close your eye, baby. You can add like little cracks coming from the eye.
Mm-hmm. Ah, that's a good idea.
And you just tell them, don't open your eye until it dries. So you can open your eye now. So yeah, so that's our half skull. Very popular with Halloween clients, very popular at fairs and festivals. And like I said, I don't even offer a full skull anymore. It's always a half skull.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Because people love it. People will pay for it and they do not mind.
That looks
That
great.
is our skull.
Nice.
So we're gonna have you jump up, and Blake, I will take pictures of all these looks so you can.
Yeah, if you could email it to me later, that'd be terrific.
Robin, so don't mess your face up. Okay, go that way. Yep, just go around the table.
Step on you.
You can go that way.
Okay.
Next model.
Yeah.
Got it. There we go.
My foot was stuck on the wire.
Yep.
Oh,
All
where's my
right.
phone? Oh, that's your phone. Where's my phone?
All right, so we got our next model coming up. And these looks are kind of my most popular favorite looks to do on clients and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Towards me. Here, this is going to be a good one to show, because you're going to get to see, like, this is a base we use for a lot. We use it for skulls, we use it for zombies, we use it for what else? We're going to do a Insane Asylum patient on her.
Insane asylum patient. Nice.
Yeah, so
That's great.
you'll get to see that that fun ratio where highlighting and shadowing and all that really makes the look go a long way. Turn that gray knob up a little. All right. So
Now, another question came up. Do you find your airbrush clogs up, or do you have to clean it all the time?
So yes, airbrushes unfortunately are fickle creatures, and they do sometimes clog up. A lot of times, if you see somebody that works in a haunt, their hand is covered in airbrush because we'll literally hold it to backwash. So we're gonna we want the needle to go in, or let me show a better trick would be hold a paper towel there, and that's going to push the needle all the way back, and it's gonna I don't know if you can hear it spewing.
Yep.
It backwashes, and sometimes that will help you get a clog out really quick. Sometimes, unfortunately, at events, you have to take your whole gun apart. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody. Also, I recommend having a good airbrush cleaner handy because sometimes you can get a clog out real good with that. One of the reasons I like top feed is because with bottom feed, sometimes you have to figure out if it's the gun itself clogged or the bottle's clogged.
Right.
So, yep. So that's why I prefer top feeds now. So here we go. I'm going to flesh tone her out. If they have top feeds, having a old paintbrush is good because then you can take your paintbrush and squish around in there to try to get the clog out of the top feeds. You should always clean your guns after an event because that will prevent clogging at your next event. Because sometimes people, they're busy and they won't, like I'm doing a 3-day festival, sometimes people won't clean their airbrush guns until the end of that festival. Well, then they're more acceptable to get clogs in them.
Right.
So we are just flesh toning her out.
Okay. And why do you put down a flesh tone first? I mean, what's the artistic idea?
So it actually, it's hard to tell on these cameras, but when you see the pictures, you'll see it actually is going to pale her out and give her that dead look, which it's just a nice look instead of their normal skin. It's like, I don't know if you can see the color, but it's a very pale color. Cause when you're dealing with scary makeups, you want it to be creepy. You want them to look dead, and the pale color really helps make them look dead. So we're just gonna flesh her out. And then I like to go in, with the white base and then hit those high points, which is what I'm gonna show you again here.
Okay.
A lot of times with scary makeup, the best thing you can do is layers. The more layers you have on a scary look, the better. So layers are your friend with scary makeup.
Right.
And sometimes you're gonna have people who are very pale and match the flesh tone color. You would just add a little bit of white to make it even more paler for somebody with very pale skin. So now we are going to go in with our white. And this is a very great base to know because, like I said, you can do so many looks based off this base. You see, we just did our skull with that. Now we're going to do a sale asylum patient with it. So we're just hitting those cheekbones. And it's good to kind of go in circles with your airbrush. It's going to give you a more blended, realistic look.
Okay.
So some people go just like this, but I like when I'm trying to get these bases on, I'll do a more circular motion with my airbrush gun. So now we're just gonna go on her forehead. Right on her nose, her chin, a little bit of her jawline. Turn this way. It's always good to work with your clients, their anatomy.
Patty DeLeon thinks that you're a funny and amazing artist.
Oh, thank you, Patty. I love me some Patty. Patty's been at many conventions teaching where I'm teaching, and me and my makeup partner Alejo, we're definitely known throughout the conventions as the goofballs. Capitol Convention, I had pulled a muscle in I had torn a muscle thigh, or a thigh muscle, sorry. And I had to have a little like scooter. Well, the balloon people, one night they turned my wheelchair scooter into a unicorn made of balloons. One night I was a captain. My wheelchair scooter was a full-on pirate ship, and I was the captain. It was very funny if you were there.
Sounds great.
So now we're going in with a little bit of old blood, which is a very like reddish brown. And we're gonna hit these corners. We're not gonna completely do the eye because if I were to just base her whole eye in like a circle with this color, it comes out very cartoony and not realistic. And we're trying to, especially when you're dealing with Halloween clients, like they like realistic.
Right.
So we're gonna hit this corner of this eye and just bring it a little bit up. So it's giving like that halo look. And then we'll give it a little bit of baggage. Make sure we hit these temple areas because we want her face to look sunken in. And then we're gonna hit this cheekbone. Hit that cheekbone right there. And I'm kind of shaping it. We're gonna go right into that hairline. Hit the jawline. All right, look at me. I go right in here.
And we're using Pro Air makeup for the base.
Yep. So this is this color is Pro Air Old Blood. And right in her nose. I'm gonna get a little bit around her mouth because it's gonna help. And I'm gonna show you a really cool trick with the mouth area. Just kind of blending down a little. I'm gonna get the side of her nose right there. So you can see it's starting to take shape. So then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Bring it down a little bit on her nose. And then we're gonna hit that. Remember, we're gonna start in that hairline. We're gonna hit the hairline up here. The other corner of her mouth.
So she looks appropriately beaten up.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I remember doing a video with someone, and she looked so beaten up that everybody was just terrified. I mean, they were just thinking, "What have you done to that poor person?"
Yeah. So this is actually my daughter, so she's quite used to me torturing her with makeup.
What's your daughter's name?
Her name,
Oh,
you go ahead.
it's Jada.
Jada. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
She was actually, for the mashup crew, she was always like my main model.
That's awesome.
And we got some great looks out with that. All right, so there we go. We got our little base.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to, grab me a paper towel. Oh, I got one. So now we're gonna go in a little bit of brown just to darken it up just a little bit more, because I told you layering is your best friend with
Absolutely.
scary looks. So just go in a little bit of brown this way.
Just to give you a heads up, we've got about 15 minutes left.
All righty.
You should be fine.
Go in.
So Jaden, what's the scariest thing your mom ever made you?
That's a hard question because
She's been some scary stuff.
yeah.
Or what's your favorite design? Maybe that's the better way of saying that.
Oh my God, there's just been so many I can never keep up with.
The Corpse Bride. No, I'm sorry. The Haunted Mansion Bride was my favorite.
Oh, it wasn't on me, but it was like a while ago, like a couple years ago. It was like this Princess Warrior series, and she made all the Disney princesses, but made them like warriors, I guess. And I thought that was a very cool thing.
Yeah, that was back in my body painting days. Me and a good friend of mine, Rhonda Hardesty, we took and made the princesses, but we made them like warriors and body painted them. It was a really cool series.
Okay.
But I think my favorite creepy thing to do is clowns. I think clowns is my favorite.
I love clowns. Of course, I have my other website that I have is clownantics.com.
Yeah.
So pretty used to clowns.
Yeah, I like creepy clowns.
Well, they don't like creepy clowns though.
Yeah.
They tend to be anti-creepy clowns.
Oh yeah, I know. I've sat with many great clowns at conventions, and they tell me all about their dislike for creepy clowns.
They really dislike them.
Yes, they do. Let's see, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna go in, and I'm going to, anytime you're dealing with like sick, they're supposed to look sickly. I like to add a little bit of yellow into it. So I'm just gonna kind of tap my sponge to give her some yellowing effects. Right in her mouth area. You don't want to put it everywhere, just a couple spots, because you want it to have the appearance of sickness. Because every time
we should do a webinar on clowns. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't done
creepy
that.
clowns or traditional clowns.
I could go either way.
Yeah. Good old clowns. So we just add a little bit of yellow, because yellow reminds us of infection.
Yes, it absolutely does.
Yep. Okay, let me show you this cool trick. One thing I've been doing recently with a lot of my makeups is when I'm doing like more of these kind of makeups, I really try to not use black.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been paying off. People love it. So I've really been trying to shy away from using too much black on certain realistic looks.
Mm-hmm.
And like if I was doing a Halloween client, I would go in with like a skin illustrator or a Pro Air solid, and I would do the yellowing and maybe a little bit of bruising. Because with the skin illustrators, what's nice about them is they look translucent. So they're not going to look like they're on top of the skin. They're going to look like they're under the skin, if that makes sense. They're going to look more realistic.
Well, that is good.
Yep. They're pricey, but they are worth it. I've had this one. Hold this for me. I've had this Skin Illustrator, which this is their smaller palette. I think these run for like 50, some 55 maybe.
Yeah.
And I've had this for probably 5 years now, and I'm just hitting pan on one of them.
Wow.
So they're a great investment, and they can really up your game with makeup, Halloween clients and all that kind of stuff. And like a lot of people think this is just for Halloween. You can offer this all year round. You can have apocalypse parties you offer. You can have zombie parties you offer. We always have charged more for those parties, and they're great for little boys. All right, so we're going to show you a cool trick. So we're going to have her squeeze her lips really, really tight. Pucker face. Yes, and look silly on camera. The kids love this. But what this is going to do, squeeze hard. This is going to give a really cool chapped dead lip. All right, let go. So you can see how it gives the nice, here, get closer. You can see how it gives that nice, natural, organic wrinkles.
Nice.
Hold up. So now.
Yeah, that layering really does show up.
Yeah, when I send the pictures, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's just sometimes on video, it doesn't come out.
Right.
So
yeah, Maria, we don't carry Skin Illustrator on our store.
All right. So one thing I like to do with my ASL asylum patients is I'll give them like they've been cutting their skin, counting down the days. And it just kind of gives a nice little ump. So what I'll go in with some bright red. And I'm just doing like little scrapies. All right. And then I think on the other side, since we're almost out of time, I'll show you like a quick zombie.
Okay.
Because it's like I said, this base is used for many things, and then it's a great way for you guys to see. And then I'll go in with a little bit black. I'll mix my black in with my red to make a dark red. Just add in there so it gives depth, like those are really cuts.
I think I should go into the stores like this.
You should go into the stores like this.
Well, that makes
I think they'll
total
kick you
sense.
out.
That
was
makes
that?
total sense.
I mean, it's Halloween time, so.
So one thing I will do also is I will soak a paint. Splattering is another big thing with scary stuff. So I'll get a toothbrush and I'm just gonna kind of splatter. So look at the camera, please. So you can see a little bit of that splattering, and it just gives it more of that gore, that nasty dead look. All right, so let's jump over to this side. You can see I didn't go in, like I wanted to keep it very natural. But a nice thing to do also with these looks is you don't really want to go in with face paint or solids. Hand me one of those lollipops, baby. Those things. Especially with solids, because they're alcohol based. So getting near somebody's eye with them is not typically the best idea. So most people have the Elisa palette. You just go in, look up with your eyes.
The Elisa Griffith palette?
Yep, the Elisa Griffith palette. And you just go in with your eyes. A little bit of Elisa Griffith. So you see it kind of, now she doesn't have like normal looking skin.
And here's a link to that for those that need it on FacePaint.com. We still have a 25% off sale, by the way. So at least for another couple days, at least to Halloween. So worth
That's
checking
fun.
out.
Is there a code for that or?
Yeah, if you go to the homepage, you'll see it.
Okay. Awesome.
It's
Everybody likes
scary.
sales.
Everybody likes sales.
This is true. All right. So with our oh yeah,
Poke myself.
the airbrush will poke you if you're not careful.
Thank you for telling me that.
So like with my airbrush guns, something a lot of people don't do, I take the tips off
Mm-hmm.
because you can get more detailed lining without it. But you do have to be careful because then your needle's exposed and you can poke yourself.
Right.
So that's always fun. All right, so gonna make her a little more dirtier. Going with, where's my old blood? So I'm just gonna kind of go in and make her a little more dirtier on this side, doing that halo eye.
Mm-hmm.
Do like drips coming out of her mouth. Hairline. Like that. And now I'm gonna go in with my scab blood. And I'm gonna go in with the stipple sponge.
Mm-hmm.
So scab blood it's a great thing because you can do a lot of cool stuff very easily with it.
And who's the manufacturer of the scab blood?
Well, so this is actually a prototype that I'm developing with a TAB body art.
Okay.
But a lot of people offer this type of blood, Ben Nye, Maron.
Yeah, I mean we've got things like that.
Yeah. I'm just kind of stippling it on.
Yeah, Ben Nye Fresh Scab, for example. Here you go.
Yep. And we're gonna put it all around her mouth. Turn your head so everybody can see. And it's like it's instant icky with not too much effort.
Mm-hmm.
And the great stuff about scab blood too is it washes off so easily. So
Right.
easily. They just got to get in the shower and bam, they're done.
That's cool.
And now going with a little bit of splattering. We'll take a bright red because I want her to look like she just bit into somebody. And a lot of times you can take a business card
Mm-hmm.
and you can take your paintbrush and you would just flick, flick, flick. But when I have plastic gloves on at the hunt, we'll use our fingers because you'll get bigger splatters.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, oh yeah. So you can see that base, we got zombie and we got asylum patient. Now, and these looks, you know, you can always go more over the top with, but I really wanted to keep it 101 today.
Mm-hmm.
So people can, you know, because a lot of times people get intimidated with the scary stuff, but you can do scary at any level. And like, these are really good starts, really good bases to learn from. And the great thing about these is you can charge a lot of money for clients.
Yeah.
You can use these same things you learn, you can use at parties. And like I said, we charge extra for those parties. And you're getting more of a boy audience, you know, because a lot of times once boys hit about 11, 12, they don't want a face paint party, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely true.
You're getting a good amount of preteen boy parties with when you offer zombie outbreak parties, apocalypse party, you know, there's Mad Max parties. And a lot of adults book those parties too for their bachelorettes and all that stuff too. So like I highly recommend just dabble a little bit in the fun, creepy world. Because I know
Exactly.
everybody is about their butterflies. Well, I like creepy and I'm tired of seeing butterflies. Because I always
I
hear
think,
people going, "Oh no, it's a creepy look."
that
I'm
is
tired
a
of your
terrific. Maria's loving it. Patty says, "Mandy, I love it and great tips."
Oh,
So
thank you, Patty.
I want to thank you. I want to thank your daughter. And I hope she recovers from this look and she's not too traumatized.
Oh, she will.
Okay. Thank you much. Thank you, everybody. And next
You're
week,
welcome.
we're off. So we won't be back until the following week. We have Pam Kinnenberg on November 9th for fall designs. So happy Halloween, everybody. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.